We stayed at a backpackers, so we met heaps of English tourist chicks. They loved us. Couldn't get enough of me.
I didn't
I
write
bagged 6 of them myself.
Welcome to the podcast. This is Not For Radio. We are your hosts, Duncan Hyde, Jay Reeve. Caution, this podcast will contain some swearing.
Yes, Duncan tells us the benefits of urine therapy, which is strange, how you can make running fun.
Here we go. We're going to read out another one of my letters that I wrote to Nana back in the day. This is around about the time I'd left high school, been denied from broadcasting school, was eyeing up moving to another city. There's a bit going on. There's a bit to unpack too.
The classic Builders classic yarn will feature before the end of this podcast episode.
It's an elite one too. That's the very last thing in the podcast today. It's an absolute beauty.
And the pitfalls of being deaf in a rugby team.
Not For Radio with Jay and Dunc. Hosts accept no responsibility for injuries caused while listening to this podcast.
Not For Radio, brought to you by Classic Builders. They've been putting roofs over Kiwis' heads for over 3 decades. They're one of the big herbs in new homes and a massive part of the communities they build in.
Attention, snipers! Gear up and hold your positions. It's time to load up some war stories. Your tales from the front line, brought to life. Prepare to fire.
This is cool because this is a story from Clint in London. We'll call him Clint because that's his fucking name. And, I'm sure there's lots and lots and lots of things about Clint that are really cool, but he's a London taxi driver.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. And so I have this...
I've seen a few of them on the internet.
Yeah, I have a strange fascination with London taxi drivers, the black cab taxi drivers. Oh, if that's what he is, I'm assuming it is. Hey, fellas, I've got a short story for you guys. London taxi driver here. One day I bought an apple juice with me to work, which was poured in an empty water bottle. Whilst driving, I needed a piss, and I decided to squeeze it into another empty water bottle. I put said water bottle in my door panel and didn't think much of it. Anyhow, about an hour later, I grabbed my apple juice, and only then, after taking a massive mouthful, I realised, wow, it wasn't my apple juice. It was still warm, and it was my piss. I spat it all over the inside of my windscreen, and then I threw up.
That's the workday over for a London cabbie driver.
I then had to pay 50 quid to get the inside completely steam clean. And I've never fucking drunk apple juice again. Cheers.
The end. Oh, amazing. Great start.
Well, smack my ass and call me Susan. It's Jay and Dunc on Not For Radio.
Good on you, Susan.
Still find it quite funny that people actually would drink their piss, as a thing. Like drinking your urine is a thing. Do you not know this?
I don't know if you can quite call it a thing.
It's a fucking thing.
No, it just reeks of like a Gwyneth Paltrow health reset.
Well, it kind of is. Drinking, it's urine therapy or something.
It's waste from your body.
No.
Would you do poo therapy?
Drinking urine, often referred to as urotherapy or urophagia, is a practice with ancient roots, but no evidence of medical benefits.
Yeah, there you go.
Hang on. The myths versus science. There's no curative power. Apparently, it was seen as a cancer treatment, cure of asthma, cure of COVID-19, and many other medical conditions. It's ineffective for skin and teeth, while urea is used in skincare and ammonia can whiten teeth. The concentration of raw urine are too low to be effective and come with a risk of infection.
Well, if you needed to hear that, I'm glad you tuned into the podcast
Someone's
today.
looking at their piss and going, maybe I'll put it
back down.
Yeah. That was fucking funny. We had this conversation.
It's a thing.
No, it is definitely a thing. There's a large number of people. I guarantee there'll be someone listening to this.
Now there's a large number of
people. I guarantee there'll be someone listening to this right now that goes, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I drink my piss all the time and it's fucking great. Remember we had the guy that snorted his own piss.
Is this the way, Jay's way of saying something without saying it?
Anyway, safe space.
You do you, boo.
It's the circle of life. It's what I like to call recycling.
Righto, making running fun. I'm interested in this. I tried running like once and gave it a decent crack. It was my New Year's resolution. And I had a couch to 5Ks, and then I did 5Ks to 10Ks, but I think the loop that I ran was 7.6Ks. Ran it almost every day for 3.5 months. got a stress fracture in my shin, and that was the end of my running career, and I didn't enjoy any second of it and didn't lose a single bit of weight, and I had to run past a McDonald's every time at the end of a top hill. It was fucking horrible, so good luck making running fun on all ears.
Yeah, so this is an app that you jam on your phone called Zombies Run, and so in major metros where there's a lot of people active running at the same time, like when you drive around here in Auckland, fuck me when I'm heading home at night after work, there is a truckload of people out just pounding the pavement.
That there, Tamaki Drive in Auckland, you can even give it a Google, is one of the great, like as a non-runner, that is a great piece of footpath to run. It's
an easy flat 10, which is what it is. And it's around a waterfront, nice wide
one of the best waterfronts on the planet.
And it's got a cycle lane that no fucker uses because they ride on the road.
Don't get started.
So there's lots of room to run. Anyway, so this thing's called Zombies Run, and so you basically log into it and you run around the city hunting other people. If you become a zombie, then you start running after people that aren't infected that are on the app. And as you run past them in proximity, don't need to touch them, don't need to say anything. You can just see where they are. And it goes ping, and then they're infected. The idea is that you try and canvas. So one person starts kind of like bull rush, and you hit someone, infect them, and then it's a multiplier.
So zombies it's either the zombies or the humans will win.
Yeah, the idea is that you don't change the running course that you do, but if you can see somebody nearby, you can kind of divert and go and pick them up. Because they're obviously, you can see the one going beep, 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 moving away, and you fucking mow them down, boots. So my mum basically doesn't do the zombie run thing. But she says she's like, there's 20 people ahead of me when she used to hit the stairs on the mount. 20 people ahead of me that I need to pass. And if they're big people that are just fucking battling, they don't count. They're not a real person. So she just comes past.
Oh, mumsy.
Yeah, so she just finds fit people up ahead of her and just fucking mows them down, which is how she gets up the hill so quick. So a lot of people need that competitive edge to get them out and get them going. That's why they started that Own Your Town running thing. Have you seen that?
Nah.
So you basically, if you run these certain parts of town, so say, for example, every single morning you get up and you do a 5K loop, then you start to own that part of town. So if you run it more than anybody
like
else.
Bloods versus Crips for runners.
Well, yeah, effectively. But if you're a person that's running 10Ks and they run your 5 as well, then they start to encroach on you. So you either have to run more or run back into their 10K lot. And so there's these wrestles that people are having, which is like gamifying anything is how you win, I reckon. Like that's how you get people fit.
Yeah, that's good. Some people take that way more seriously. I'm a bit stressful here in the... Do you get beeps when you're getting run down by a zombie?
Yes, it's on your phone. It flashes red like, fuck, you're about to get hit. And then you don't even know.
Quickly cross the road, get mowed by
yeah, exactly. So it could just be someone that's walking past you because walkers do it as well.
Oh, that's
but
funny.
yeah, you basically run in the opposite direction, bang. Anyway, so this is a friend of ours who will remain nameless was the guy that founded the app Cabbie, which in New Zealand has over 500,000 daily active users, which in a population of 5 million is fucking massive. And so
it's basically an app to find cheap gas.
Yeah, so everybody goes to their local service station and logs in the price of the petrol that's there. And then when you go on the app, you can either do it as a person that's logging the prices, or you can go on to look at the prices, and it shows you where the cheapest gas is in your area. And so he was like, this is hilarious. He did it as a way of just having a crack at big oil, basically, in the beginning. And then people fucking loved it. So there is people that go on bus routes that go past service stations that log them. So they were starting to get more points. And he was like, well, how do we reward these points? So he started giving them different wizard hats.
Yeah.
And so he was like, if you log like 15 or 20 servos a morning, then you become like a super wizard of these fucking Cabbie super wizards.
Gandalf of the app.
Yeah. And so he then quickly figured out that there were people that were employing other people that they worked with in their routes to log write down the prices, give them to them, and they would log them. So he said there's users that were picking up like 40 fucking gas station prices every morning, and they were like pumping up. And so then he started rewarding them with kind of like a NFT or like a token that they could then use to spend in service stations, because their service stations, they were data mining so much information on all these service stations. Then the big oil companies eventually came to him, and he's going under a nom de plume, like an alias. So he'd have these meetings, and he said that he'd be sitting at a local cafe we were from, and the guys, the head of one of these massive petro companies was with him, and he was like, I'm just, because he's told this guy his name, which is not his name, he's just fucking sitting there sweating, hoping that somebody didn't come past and go, oh, g'day, how are you, mate? And blow his cover. So they made up these tokens, which could then be traded for goods or fuel in store. So he went from basically going against big oil to then becoming kind of part of big oil and then creating his own cryptocurrency.
And that's how you get loaded.
Very cool idea, though. He's fucking hilarious.
Oh, my gosh. And he shall remain nameless,
Yeah,
Jay,
that's exactly
which
right.
was why we've bleeped it.
Not for radio with Jay and Dunc. Yummy.
So we're about to read another one of my letters to Nana. Now, I would always be forced to write to Nana because young people don't like doing that, to say thank you for birthday presents. It's been a while since I've read one of these out.
Is it a very, I mean, yeah, I'm just wondering. There's friends of ours from the South Island that write when they come and stay with us. Like just like a handwritten letter to say thank you for having us, and they send it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think just mum and dad were brought up
Manners?
the right way and were trying to bring me up the same way, and they haven't. So this is a few months probably out, I'm guessing, after I've got my money for my birthday and I finally got round to writing her thank you. And I think this is after school. I think in this one I might have started at the radio course, which is like the not as good version of broadcasting school because they didn't let me in like a few times. But I think I might still be working in radio.
Hey, Nana and Brian. See, what I will say is that Duncan was very adept with the use of the exclamation mark, so I'll try my very best to read accordingly.
That'd be nice because that's what I intended when writing it.
Yeah. Hey, Nana and Brian. How have you guys been? Hope all is well. Better start by saying thanks for the birthday present and the card. The money couldn't have come at a better time, because I've just got back from Wellington and I'm rather poor. 5 of my mates and I went up to see another mate that has been up there studying this year, so we thought going to see him would be a good excuse to get away for the weekend. We went up on Saturday night after rugby, came back on Tuesday afternoon, went to Te Papa, checked the city centre out, and went clubbing at night. So we didn't end up doing a hell of a lot, but man, we had heaps of fun. We stayed at a backpackers, so we met heaps of English tourist chicks. They loved us. Couldn't get enough of me.
I didn't write
I bagged 6 of them myself.
I didn't write that. That last bit makes it really clear that I didn't write it. Oh, shit.
They can't get enough of D's D, if you know what I mean. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. We got some of their details, and when they come to Christchurch, we're going to meet up with them again and go out, which should be good.
That never happened.
Rugby's going all good, even though it's for my rival club, which is kind of weird. Hang on, just quickly stop down on that. What happened there?
Oh,
Weren't you Renwick Pirates and then switched over?
No, I was playing in Lincoln,
and
and then I went to Prebleton because I believe it might have been playing Colts or something like that. I remember it just being basically a version of rugby where you sprinted for the whole game. It sucked.
Oh, yeah.
It was very hard. You had to be very fit.
It's like 85s, yeah.
Something like that.
Which is kind of weird. Now we are in second division of the town competition because, like you saw, we didn't do too well in our first few grading games. At the moment, I think we're in second place and have about 6 or 7 weeks left until semi-final start. The people in the team are a lot of fun on and off the field, so that keeps me busy most Saturday nights. Ha ha!
She's doing a lot of reading between the lines, but I reckon she'll be scooping what I'm pooping here.
Course is still fun, but I'm getting itchy feet and want to get into the industry. So I'm finding it rather annoying at the moment, but the tutor knows this and is trying his best to keep me busy. The other day, my tutor got me spruiking, speaking on a microphone outside of shops to promote them and their sales, etc. At Michael Hill Jewelers.
Bro, oi. I got this, and it was real good money. It was like $200 for a couple of hours' work or something like that.
$50 an hour, I'll get to that.
Oh yeah, okay.
But that being said, back then, which would have been,
I would have been getting paid $12 an hour to drive around the radio station trucks.
Yeah, shit, yeah. Spruiking at Michael Hill Jewelers. I've done this before, but it was good to get back into it. And the pay is good. We found out today that the people at Michael Hill are going to pay us $50 an hour. So that's all right. If I was your nana, I'd be going, $50 an hour. I gave that little motherfucker $50. Fuck him. He's not getting any money. He's earning more than me.
Yeah, but I'm drinking more than her.
Yeah, true that. I also have work experience in about 2.5 weeks at a place called Sounds FM in Blenheim. That will be about 3 weeks, which should be good. Good. One of my mates from the first year of my course has a job there, so I'll be working with him. That should be good to catch up. They put me in at promotions and as a nighttime announcer from 7 till 12. And it's all live. So if I screw it up, it'll go to air. Scary. They have kind of hinted, if all goes well, there could be a full-time position at the end of it. So I might end up staying in the big smoke of Blenheim. Well, for a while. Anyway, the reason I would take it up is because at the station I'm working at now, another job opening came up and I didn't get it. So it made me think, how long would I have to wait for a job there? And I'm not going to put my life on hold for them.
Good.
I've got too much important shit going on. I'm going to get back to banging those fucking backpackers. So that's about all that's happening in my life at the moment. Oh, and if you're wondering what's happening on the girl front, wow, no, I'm not anymore after that. Nothing really. I'm waiting for a decent one to come along. Might be waiting a while. Oh my gosh. Anyway, you guys take care. Lots of hugs and kisses, Duncan.
I actually picked up a chick during that spruiking. It's probably one of the weirdest things I've done. I was like in the Westfield Mall, and I was outside. She was like, "I just keep seeing you everywhere," and she came up and talked to me, and then I ended up being with her for a little while.
Really?
It was probably the most random way. It was so funny. Like,
Well, give us an example of how you'd be spruiking.
So there used to be people be walking past, and then you'd have like a clipboard, and you have to read out the specials. But don't forget, Mother's Day's just around the corner. 17-carat gold bloody ring for $499 in store now, and they've got great deals on finance. I was literally reading ads to people as they walk past.
It's as shit as it sounds, probably quite effective. It's live radio in your face, outside the store, specific to the store.
Did you create any conversions? Like, what was the conversion rate of just reading ads to people? How many people actually bought stuff?
Yeah, I don't actually remember, but I'd say fuck all.
I reckon it's the.
I also wouldn't have cared. I would have had the money on the eyes on the money, which is $200. Then the other thing as well from that is I did go on WorkX there, and I just never came back to Christchurch.
Yeah.
The next time I went back to, I think I took stuff up there, and I think Mum even might have sent the rest of my very little belongings up there. I stayed in this fucking motel called Bing's, which looks like a 70s porn star motel.
Sick.
And I had like just think of the most 70s decor. Nothing had been touched since then. I'm pretty sure you could probably rent it out by the hour. But anyway, that's where they put me up, and then I just stayed there, and then ended up getting a flat. They gave me a job, and that was fucking me out of Christchurch. Done.
It's kind of, so there's something sort of quite exciting about that as you get older, you really, I guess you kind of miss. Like, I think that for me, I like to move. Like, I don't like to do the same thing this is the longest job that I've ever had in my life.
Crazy.
Ever had in my life. I normally don't like to do.
How long were you at MTV for?
5 years.
Is that it?
Yeah.
So what are you at now? 7 with this one?
Yeah, I don't like to normally. MTV was a stretch because I always like to change jobs every 3 years. I like to just spin, go, spin, go, spin, go.
You can afford better defence lawyers now, so they haven't been able to get rid of them.
Oh my god!
Yeah. I like to have. There has to be kind of
Surely you feel like you're only getting good at your job, like starting to get on top of it after 3 years.
Well, possibly, and there's a maturity, and up until this point, up until starting this job, I don't really give a shit about my jobs. This is the first job that I've actually cared about. So,
which is funny.
Yeah, it's I like the idea of just jumping in and learning something and putting yourself into positions where you're kind of like, yeah, shit, this is how we're going to figure this out. And it was always the probably more of an insight as to how I operate, of just trying to win people over. And that was sort of where that's probably where I had or thought the value was, and that's what I placed value on. And so whenever you're doing a new job, it was kind of like, hey, I've just started this new job and I'm the new guy. And, that was sort of the excitement. Whereas now probably what we've achieved is what's probably that's the driving force behind it. We're at this point, probably because I'd never set fucking goals with anyone before as well, and it was quite individualist the roles that I was doing. Even in my last radio duo, there was never a plan. Like it was just like, hey, we're just going to do this until they fire us, and just bumbling along. Yeah.
That was your goal, and that's what happened.
Yeah, we succeeded. We summited that, and then
That was a great radio show.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. But I blew it up because I wanted something else.
Because you in your head had told yourself, after 3 years, I'm going to go and do something else.
Well, no, it was an opportunity to do a format which I appreciated more. Going to Hodaki was much better suited than
that's
ZN.
right. Yeah.
So yeah, I just like to do new stuff. But the point that I was trying to make is there is something exciting about the unknown, or like being able to like up sticks and go. Like when we moved back to the mountain, I was like, yes, this is exciting.
Yeah, Dixie was because Dixie read those letters, my lovely wife, and she was just jealous that I was that sure of myself at that age making that decision. She just said she would have absolutely battled with it.
Yeah,
but I was just like, I literally knew one person up there, and I was like, I'm gone.
And hilarious too, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, it must have been a pretty straight run in." Like you got rebuffed on going to broadcasting school
2 or 3 times.
And then endless applications for jobs out of broadcasting school, and then easily not in the shortest amount of time, but easily one of the most consummate broadcasters that New Zealand's produced over nearly a 20-year period now.
I started on $16,400.
Yeah,
and then on purpose I never worked it out because they had me, like I said in that letter, I was working promotions as well, and so I'd arrive at 9 a.m. and then be leaving because I don't think you could record when I first started. Because quite often people that do late night radio shows might record the last 2 hours or something like that, and I don't think we could do that. So I'd be there from like 9 a.m. till midnight,
and then go all again,
and then fill it up again. So that was 5 days a week, and then I was somewhere in the mix over the weekend. I had to do a weekend shift as well, and like if I was to work it out, I would have been on like $1.70 an hour or something like that.
But I think,
but it wasn't what it was about. It wasn't about the money.
No, and that's where I reckon. That's where I reckon that there's, and this isn't a casting an aspersion across all people of a new generation, but everyone turns up here and they go, oh, well, my career is in radio. No, you don't have a career. You've got a fucking job. And you can't say that you've got a career until you've built a body of work and you've got some associates which would vouch for you, that would say that you're a great person. You've moved around. You've done that job in a few different places. Then you've got a career. But everyone turns up, I think, young, going, well, I want that. Like I've got a buddy of mine who's incredibly successful and has people that work for him going, well, where's my fucking Range Rover? Well, you do what I've done and then you can get what I've got. And I think there's a massive disconnect. Like even chippy mates of mine, that are running building crews, they're like, some young fuck will turn up, second-year apprentice, with a brand new ute with a fucking hard tray on it, full lift kit, snorkel, slider full of brand new tools, tick the fucking lot up. He's like, mate, we were borrowing tools or sharing tools on site till we finished our apprenticeship. And even he goes, tools haven't got any fucking more expensive than when we were doing it. It's like your 3-piece brushless fucking combo kit was still $500 back in the 70s.
I reckon it's hard with radio as well. You've got to really want it because we're a small nation, and there's a scattering of jobs.
Oh yeah,
right? And heaps of people hold them. They gatekeep the jobs forever.
Yeah. I mean, at least you got paid, Dunc. I did 2 years for free trying to get into radio. I went in and applied for the internship. They said, we've already given it to someone. And I said, okay, well, I work at night. I'll come back. I'll come back every day if you guys just show me. Just teach me the ropes. And I did that. They milked it. They could have given me a job after 6 months, but, 2 years later, got the internship.
You've got to want it. And that's the thing, like, when you're turning up and you're really passionate about it, it doesn't, like, I mean, obviously money helps, but it's not the be-all and the end-all. And if you're in a position where your mum lived in Auckland, then you can do that, and you're in the position to do that. You will do that because you fucking love it and you want it. And not everyone gets that.
That was my missus, man. My missus looked after me.
Did she?
Yeah, we were living together, and I remember we had this one harrowing night, like a year and a half in. She's crying. She's paying like all our bills and everything. I'm barely contributing. She's like, babe, I don't know if you're going to make it in this. Like, you need to get a real job. And I was like, I'm on the cusp. Like, trust me.
Yeah,
I'm close. And she believed in me, and here we are.
Full Will Smith moment, sleeping in the toilet, pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
Kid Cabbie playing in the background. Tell me what
She's
you
like,
know
babe, you can sleep
about
in the bed. Get out of the toilet.
dreaming. Stop going to the public toilets and sleep in there, you fucking weirdo. I'm on the pursuit of happiness, and I don't.
Right, let's go to the sniper line. Got a couple here. If you do want to send us an audio message, you can do that pretty easily. You can just click on the show notes. There's a link tree there that's got where you can send us a yarn, send us a voice memo. You can find basically everything you need for it. If you want to become Sniper Elite and get all the other episodes, the Monday, Tuesday ones, the back catalogue, ad-free and all that, and that's the place to do that too. Do it through the Rover website, which you can find on there. This one is from
Alex.
You want to do Alex? Okay.
Boys, have I got a wee nickname for ya? I had a good little one where I was thinking about our nicknames that we use at work. And for all of the apprentices that we have on that come to work for us, we have one general nickname, and that's Ballbag. Yep, he's the Ballbag. Right, Ballbag, chuck your tools in the van. Yeah. Let's go, boy. Let's go. But we've actually had a few chicks join the forces lately, and their nickname is Ballbagless. So I thought that you might have a wee chuckle at that one. So, yeah. Hey, have a good one, lads. And up the wires.
Up the wires. Remember I told that yarn age ago. This is like really early on in the podcast. There was the guy actually, Jeremy, the one that I went to work at in Blenheim on Sounds FM. He was doing the afternoon show. He used to work at a butcher's. Remember that yarn? And so they used to have the bull bag competition, and you needed to see how many times you could get away with saying bull bag without being pulled up when people would come in. And he reckons it'd be like an old lady, be like, oh, can I fucking $8 worth of fucking luncheon or whatever, and they'd scoop it up and he'd hold it up in a bag and go, a bull bag? And because they've done it so many times, they don't even hear. They just go, yeah, that's about enough. And he reckons his record for the day was like 32 or some shit with customers. So there's a fun game if you're working in retail and you don't really like your job but want a bit of a risk.
Also, the
bag?
that lady that was out walking, instead of saying morning, you say whoring, and just walk past people whoring.
We used to just always play penis in high school, where you
Oh,
just
yes.
got to say it louder than the guy.
That
next
was
to
one
you.
of the great games.
Assembly was the gold times for it.
What a rush.
What a time to be alive.
What a rush. This one here from Joe.
Hey boys,
Hello,
Big
mate.
Joe here from Northumberland in England. Got a little yarn about a kid called Nicky who was a deaf rugby player. So we were playing rugby for Newcastle College, went down to York. So played the game of rugby, night out on the piss in York. Everyone piles back on the bus. And we're about an hour or two into the journey, and everyone decides that they need a piss. So bus pulls over, everyone piles off, pissing everywhere. We all pile back on the bus. And then coach turns around and says, everybody here, put your hands up if you're not. And everyone puts their hands up. Just standard. Drive away. 20 minutes later, get a phone call from Nicky. And one of the lads answers, and all we can hear is, stop the fucking bus! Yeah. We left Nicky in a lay-by. So, quick Huey in the bus, an hour back the other way, just to pick him up. And, yeah. All's ends that ends well, but no man left behind.
You forgot the rule of no man left behind. There's just one rule. Oh, man. That's wild.
That would be also terrifying to have. There's the guy, the blind guy who checked in. We haven't played that, eh? Shit, it'd be good. The guy turns up. He's like, "What it's like to travel solo blind? Solo backpacking as a blind person."
Oh, my gosh. That is a wild concept.
Yeah, but it was he basically turned up at a hostel, and they were like, he's like, "Hey, I've turned up and the door's locked," or whatever it was. However he fucking got there, I don't know. And they're like, "Oh, the code is blah 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 blah." And he's like, "Well, I don't know where the fucking keypad is."
Yeah.
And you don't have any braille on the numbers, so how the fuck am I supposed to know? And they're like, "What, are you blind?" And he's like, "Yes." And they're like, "What did you come here for? You can't see anything."
Oh, my God.
But he's like a blind traveler, because that once again for me is like, if you were blind why would you want to go to places like, I don't know.
Well, you just get all the other sensory overlays. That's different, right? Because
And that's what he was
all
saying.
the other senses would be completely dialed up.
Yeah, he's like the sights, the sounds, and the smells of what you travel for. So you take one of those away, and that's why you go there. But he goes, also, you're just, and particularly in parts of the world where they have next to fuck all, he is like, you often just get hands all over you, and there's the initial people that kind of come up to you and like go, hey, and they're just basically trying to fleece you and steal all your shit off you. But he goes, it's in split seconds that the locals fucking regulate that, because he goes, they don't want to, like, you fucking nicking something off a Westerner, that's one thing. Nicking something off a blind person, that's a fucking whole different kettle of fish.
Oh, man, if you want an insight into what it's like to be blind, Curb from Two Flogs podcast went on. There's Blind Benny, who's one of their mates, and he wasn't always blind. He went blind overnight, like 12 or some shit. But he does such a great podcast. It's called Flying Blind Podcast. He's a classic dude, chats to just heaps of epic humans. But hearing him navigate the different things that you would have never even thought about that blind people have to navigate on a daily basis. It just was fascinating. Even in that one, because he was Curb's known him for a couple of years now, and they started talking about what Curb looks like, and he had a completely different idea in his head of what Curb looks like. He's like, holy fuck, have you got a beard? He's like, yeah, bro. And then he was like telling me, Curb was fucking with him, telling me he had like a ponytail with a receiver. And he's like, fuck, it's completely different to what I thought. Thought he had different coloured hair and shit, and they're going through it, and of course it's just something you never think about. And now he's like, oh my gosh, now it's like when people see someone, what their face looks like when they work on the radio.
Exactly what I was about to say.
And they go, now I'm going to have to undo all of the years of like that, the image you've made in your head is just imprinted into your brain. And he's like, fuck, I'm going to really battle to undo this, Curb.
Yeah, I remember the first time when I experienced that, because when I was listening to radio, it was just voices, there were no faces to it, you know? And I started listening to this station that we work on, The Rock, and they had Nick and Rog. And there's this big gruff voice, which is just the voice, the golden Rolls voice of radio. And that was Rog. And then there was this kind of like, bit of a bloody cheeky rat baggy fucking, fucking this voice, which was Nick. And so when I first saw them, when I went to the field days of Dad, because it was the one day that I'd get off, the agricultural field days, it's just the epicenter. You turn up, you steal fucking standards and stickers and free shit from all the sites. And they were there at the field days. And I turned up and I was like, there's Nick and there's Rog. So Nick, in my eyes, was this tiny fella, and Rog was this big bloke. And then they jumped up on the microphone, and the tiny fella grabbed the microphone and he goes, "G'day, guys, it's Rog from the Rocky." And I was like, fucking world just collapsed. I was like, what the actual fuck? You guys have done a voice box change out. This is fucked.
It's like they've done the like a body swap with Schwarzenegger and DeVito.
It literally was.
Yeah. I had the same thing with them. Right, let's get on to the classic yarn for this week. Cheers, Classic Builders. This is from Gouldy in Australia. When adrenaline makes smart people do dumb things. Hello, fellas and fellettes. I thought this is a timely story as we're right in barbecue season, that fabulous event that is Meatstock Sydney, it must be. I think it was over the weekend. It is of course, a cautionary tale. I'm a well-educated Aussie male that works in a very high-pressured role, needing to make lots of significant decisions every day, and I do this very well. Well, strap yourselves in and let me tell you a tale where none of those skills were used at all. I'm a low and slow Texas-style barbecue cook using a Traeger smoker. These are pellet-driven smokers where you set a temperature and an auger delivers the right number of pellets to the firebox to keep the smoker at your selected temp.
A beautiful piece of machinery.
They're fucking good. The people that hate on them, I just don't get it. Like, if you have time for, they're amazing. All good so far. To the day in question, the parents of some friends were coming over for dinner, and they are Texans, and cockily put it out there that you couldn't get good Texas barbecue in Australia. Challenge accepted. I took the day off work and spent hundreds of dollars on brisket, pork butt for pulled pork, baby back ribs, and a full plate of beef ribs. I was going fucking all out. I had cooked these many times before, and I was confident that I could deliver. The meat was prepped, and my smoker was ready to accept its expensive bounty. I loaded her up. Now, low and slow means that I could go and have a sneaky frothy or two and work on the sides. Well, you know, that sixth sense that we all have when something is not quite right. Well, I had that feeling about the smoker. They're electric, and it was sounding off. I went to have a look. I could see a huge plume of unusual grey smoke pumping out of the smoker. This wasn't as good. I've never seen that one before. Adrenaline level 1. I thought, shit, I'd better have a look. I lifted the lid of the smoker and fucking kaboom! The thing was on fire, and lifting the lid fed a heap more oxygen that caused it to basically explode into a fireball. Adrenaline level 2. With no fucking eyelashes or eyebrows or arm hair and smelling like a small bushfire, my immediate thought was, fuck, that's more than $500 worth of meat. You have to save that. The smoker is still in full fire, and as I had welding gloves nearby, I was able to grab the smoker trays full of meat and get them out. Having taken the trays out, I could now see the problem. For some unknown reason, the smoker was pumping pellets into the firebox, which had overflowed everywhere, and the whole bottom of the smoker was covered in pellets, which are now all on fire.
I've had that happen before to mine.
Adrenaline level 3. Fuckity fuck, I have to get this fire out. Thankfully, I no longer smelt like a small bushfire and just slightly like roasted pork belly. So needing to put the pellets out, I thought, why don't I just blow the little fuckers out? Obviously, there's no way I could blow them out with my mouth, but I would need a weed blower or a leaf blower. Well, that worked as expected. I hit the smoker with the weed blower, causing all the pellets to blow out of the smoker and land still on fire all over the ground around me. This is such a cluster. I must have had it on for only seconds as I realised the error of my ways, and I thought, shit, I better come up with a different idea. Now I'm surrounded by these little burning fuckers as well. Adrenaline level 4. I will point out that I'm not a complete dickhead. I had turned the smoker off, but it was still full of these little pellet fireballs. So my next thought was to use a vacuum. My next thought was to use a vacuum cleaner and suck these little bastards out. So I grabbed the vacuum cleaner. I had one for cleaning the barbecue. You kind of need one. And turned it on and started sucking out the pellets. This seemed to be going well. Fuck me, though, out of the corner of my eye, I fair dinkum saw what looked like a premium top fuel dragster as blasting out the back of the vacuum cleaner with flames as big as anything I'd seen, trying to launch any of those dickhead Bezos or Musk or Bransons into space. So now I had a smoker still on fire, a vacuum cleaner looking like it was about to launch for the fucking moon, and on the ground around me, I was surrounded by the burning embers of the blown out pellets that now look like an Anthony fucking Robbins firewalk. At this stage, the smoker was no longer on fire as the blower and vacuum cleaner had done their jobs and removed the pellets from the smoker. Success. At this point, the adrenaline was leaving my body and I started to feel pain on the bottoms of my feet. Yes, that's right. I was in bare feet, and I'd been stomping around all over the Anthony fucking Robbins firewalk and had burnt the bottoms of my feet to go along with my now hairless arms, no eyelashes or eyebrows. Fuck me, it hurt. I still had to get that smoker going and get the meat back in as well. Pleasingly, everything worked as expected and the barbecue turned out to be sensational, and the Texan friends left knowing that you can get good Texas barbecue outside Texas. I couldn't walk properly for a week and had to answer to a bazillion questions as to why I'd removed all the visible hair on my body, but in the end, it was worth it. Other than that, sweet as Goldie from Australia.
That's great stuff. Well done, mate.
Elite level stuff.
Yeah, that is a classic yarn.
Fuck yeah. That's us done and dusted for the week.
Yes. Have a fantastic weekend, whatever you're up to. Up the wires.
Yes. I haven't even checked.
Bye weekend.
Bye week.
Not playing. Broncos next in 2 weeks.
All right. Well, I get to watch my boys play their first game of footy this weekend. It was supposed to be last weekend for Duction, but they ended up moving, which is awesome. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Got some mates coming over Saturday. Don't know. I'm probably not going to touch a drop of alcohol after last weekend.
Well, tonight I've got a Studio 54 40th that I'm heading along to, and I'm hosting another. I've got footy in the morning, and then another dinner party on Saturday night. So I'm going to be an absolute pile of shit.
What about you, Billy boy?
I'm doing a little deal with my mate whose old man's got a massive launch. I'm DJing his birthday party for him in return. He's taking me out on the launch all day, so I'll be much like Jay, a little bit shady in the following week.
Well done. Have a great weekend, everyone. Go well, go long, and
Up the wires next weekend.
up the wires after the bye weekend.
Not for Radio with Jay and Dunc may contain traces of nuts.
This has been Not For Radio. Cheers to Classic Builders. So whether you're ready to roll a house and land combo or you got a weird shaped section and want to design something from scratch, they can help you nut it out.
You've been listening to Jay and Dunc's Not For Radio podcast. Thanks for listening. I hope to see you soon.